Yeah, please stand by.
He said.
Thank you for that, David. All right, today is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. The time is 7:17 p.m. I'm now calling to order the Baldwin Park regular city council meeting. Pastor Flores, can we please have an invocation? I'm sorry. If you're able to stand, please stand.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council, staff, all those that are with us tonight. Tonight is on the Christian calendar is Ash Wednesday. As we enter the Lenten season, we're reminded that dust we come from and dust we return. We're all human beings, ashes to ashes. And thus we seek God to give us guidance on how to live our life. Salmo 90, versículo 12 dice, enséñanos de tal modo a contra nuestros días que traigamos al corazón sabiduría. Let us pray. Gracious God, we are mindful today that you are God. And in the midst, Lord, of suffering, and in the midst, Lord, of pain, God, you still are God. We thank you for our city. We thank you for our mayor, our city leaders and staff, Lord, that all have a commitment to serve and to honor you by serving your people and your public, Lord. We pray, God, that you would teach us to number our days in this season, this Lenten season, and remind us, God, that we are but human beings, given the opportunity to live life, to honor you, to serve each other. Grace our mayor, grace our leadership today with your presence. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Councilmember Avila, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Of course. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you for that. City Clerk, can we get roll call, please?
Mayor Damian,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Estrada, Councilmember Lozano.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. All right, now we're going to go to report from closed session. City Attorney, you have anything to report?
No, there's nothing to report. We had a couple items on the agenda. Each one was discussed, except for one. We had one item of potential litigation that was not discussed. Other than that, there's nothing further to report.
Thank you for that, City Attorney. And I will now make a motion to close the City Council special meeting.
Second.
Special meeting is now closed. We do have some announcements. The City Council are also members of the Board of Directors of the Housing Authority and the Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening with the City Council this evening, and each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority meeting and $50 for attending the Finance Authority meeting. All right, now we're gonna go into, first of all, welcome everyone. I know it was cold out there, so we apologize for the late start of the meeting. We're gonna go into our proclamations, commendations, and presentations. First, we do have a presentation by Jose Martinez, the General Manager of the Valley County Water District, who will present their 100th anniversary and upcoming community events. Hello, Jose, how are you?
Thank you very much, Mayor, members of the City Council. It's always an honor to be here and provide an update to the district. And tonight's a very special one. Do I have control here, or do you guys change the slide? Yeah, next slide, please. And I have the great honor to announce that the district is actually celebrating our 100th year anniversary. So that's a huge accomplishment. Here tonight, I have President Muse with me, as well as Director Pacheco and Director Vargas. And a small picture of some of our staff members, as well as our current staff. We have 31 full-time staff. We serve a population of just under 70,000. And we serve water through 12,743, 45 connections. Next slide, please. A little bit of history. These are some great photos. Now, mind you, we started as very humble beginnings. We started as a small Baldwin Park water district as first. And we served mostly to farms around the local area. And as the community continued to grow, so did the district. We are now in our third house. We're averaging about 50 years per house. As you can see, the three district offices that we had. We just finished construction a few years back in our new facility, and we're going to make this one last at least 100 years. So that's our goal. And this thing, we're making it look nice, and we're going to keep it looking nice for quite some time. So anytime anybody wants to come and visit us, we're at 521 Lantee Street, just south of Arrow Highway and just south of the Santa Fe Dam there. So next slide, please. One thing I always like to report on is how we're doing with local rain conditions. And typically when I show this map, the entire state of California is either red, yellow, orange. But if we look closely now, there's only a tiny section in the very northwest part of California that is in somewhat of a drought conditions. And I think that might be an error because I don't see how that's possible, but that's what we're reporting right there. On the right, that is the graph. And if that's your bank account, that we would think we're doing really good. And we are. That's our groundwater levels. There's actually, we call it the Baldwin Park Key Well, which is located within the city boundaries. And that's where we measure how our groundwater is doing. So the level of that is doing really well. I had to update this presentation several times because the rainfall totals kept changing on us, and it actually changed another inch. So we're about 15 on this slide, and right now we're about 16.9 inches. So just a little bit, I'm sorry, that one's, what does it say? 13.93 inches. So we're about 15, just under 16 inches. So a little bit above what our normal averages are for rainfall total. So another great year of rain. So certainly blessed and thankful for that. And the next slide, again, highlights exactly how we're doing with rainfall totals. Our historic high for our basin was at 295 feet, and that was in July, and I can't really, 1983. And our historic low was back at 169 feet back in 2018. So right now our current level is about 261 feet. So doing really well. Considering, not too long ago that we were near historical lows, and now we're nearing historical highs. If you drive on the 605 freeway, you can actually see the mining pits out there, and you see water in there. That is actually the groundwater level. So as you can see that it's starting to come up, and it seems a little higher.
Yeah.
That's
good.
actually what the groundwater table is at. And it actually is, it's pretty marvelous to see how it's come up the last several years with the amount of local rain that we've had and been able to capture that. And the next slide, I kind of want to highlight that because we do monitor local social media chatter, what the community is talking about, what the community is questioning. And we get a lot of comments such as, we're letting so much water go out to the ocean. And that is true for the LA River. Unfortunately, their main goal for flood control is to protect life and property. And when it comes to the LA River, because there's so much congestion around the LA River basin, that is the main goal of just getting that water out to protect life and property. That is not the same true in our area, in the San Gabriel Basin. We capture about 95% of the water that hits the San Gabriel Valley, the watershed up in the mountains. And it comes down through a series of dams, 3 dams up in the Azusa Canyon Basin, which retain that water, and we are allowed to release that water. And when I say we, this is not Valley County. This is a combination of
Sanitation.
the Army Corps of Engineers, is a combination of LA County Public Works, flood control. So there is and a bunch of different agencies that all work together to capture this water, to regulate it, and then to spread it. The picture we see in the middle there, those are actually spreading basins, which are located right there by the 210, the 605, where we release that water. We coordinate those efforts down the San Gabriel River, and then we divert it into these spreading basins. And that allows the water to percolate and recharge our basin. So why is our basin so high? Because of these efforts. We do such a great job of capturing, managing that water to recharge and utilize this local resource to recharge our groundwater basin. Also, we have coordinated efforts where we can deliver state water project through the California Aqueduct. And when we don't have local water, we're able to spread that water. We used to be able to do that. So that's going to be come up with some of our challenges are coming up in the next slides. So again, highlight that we do an excellent job of capturing. You do see a little bit of water flowing down the San Gabriel right now, but we also have an obligation to share that resource. We can't just hold all the water here. We have to allow some water to go down the San Gabriel River to other parties that have rights to that water as well. So if there is water going down the river, that is typically a coordinated effort to deliver the water that is due to those parties to the south of us. Next slide. And there's going to be a quiz for the cheerleaders after this, so I hope everybody's paying attention. We're going to pass it out, right, Vivian? I also have a staff member. We're going to pass out a quiz, so hopefully everybody can pass it afterwards. So one of the great things people always ask you, okay, you got a bunch of water. Shouldn't it be free? I mean, there's so much of it. And unfortunately, the rate, because our basin goes up and down, we still have to pay the same costs. We still have to pay the cost to treat it. We still have to pay the cost to replenish and replace all our infrastructure. We have 120 miles of pipeline that we have to replace. We try to replace at least a couple miles every year. So if you do the math real quick, it takes us about 60 years to replace every single foot of pipe throughout our system. So it's a systematic approach. And also we have different challenges. Those challenges we've been hit by inflation. And most recently we've been hit. And last time I came and presented, I talked a little bit about the golden mussel. And this golden mussel continues to be an issue throughout the whole entire state of California. And it's actually impacted water that's being delivered through the State Water Project. If we can go through to the next slide, please. So unfortunately, this golden mussel was introduced to the San Francisco Bay and has made its way across the state and down the California aqueduct. And now it is in local reservoirs and resources that the county has decided that we cannot spread this water because it could be an issue. And this is not a water quality issue, that these mussels just start having a huge impact on infrastructure. They start surrounding pipelines, gate valves. So it's not a water quality. It's just a huge effort and mitigation and additional costs to remove these mussels. So right now we're looking at active means to mitigate this. There are some treatment components that may be able to install in some larger pipelines to actively disable the reproduction of these mussels. But if that's not the case, then there's going to be a cost to actually remove it. So I think it's a great Boy Scout project. You go out there in some of these lakes and start scraping some of these mussels. It might be a fancy cuisine. So if somebody has some great ideas of how we can manage this mussel, we're all ears right now because we're collectively as a state trying to address and figure out how we. But as of right now, this mussel has impacted any replenishment water coming down from the California aqueduct, which is essential when we don't have local rain. So thankfully, we have enough local rain right now where we're not in need of California, but that could change any year. So we have to address this and we have to figure out the solution for this. Next slide, please. Another project and staff, we have had a conversation with Mr. Carrillo about this pure water project. This is a regional project in which the Metropolitan Water District, along with the Sanitation District, is looking to capture and utilize some water that is currently right now going out. It goes to a waste treatment system. It goes out to the ocean. So with advanced treatments, we can actually purify this water and pump it back up to different locations throughout Southern California. So this resource could be another 150 million gallons that is not dependent upon the State Water Project, which, and I don't want to be doom and gloom, but the California aqueduct is actually sinking. So that's a huge issue, that the system that we depend so much on to bring water from up north to Southern California is actually being impacted because of overproduction of water in Central California, called subsidence. So that's another, you can throw that other challenge onto our list of issues that we have that continue to multiply when it comes to delivering safe and reliable water. So this is one of the projects. So we're going to continue to work with staff and probably at one point when Metropolitan, they just certified their environmental impact report last week. So that was a huge milestone. But like everything, big projects, big regional project like this have billions of dollars associated with it. So when we get to the funding, there's going to have to be a lot more conversations and a lot more buy-ins from all the regions that are going to benefit from this project and exactly how it's going to be funded into the future. So I just wanted to mention that project and throw the name out there. So Pure Water, Southern California is certainly something that we will continue to talk about into the future. Next slide, please. Couple things that we have coming up, very excited. We have a couple of gardening workshops. So if you're looking for ways, one thing we continue to promote is water use efficiency. So if you're looking for ways to reduce your water use at home, replacing grass. This year we have a lot of rain, but there's many of the years we only have 5-6 inches. And typically grass to be healthy needs over 60 inches of water a year. So if we're only if we only average about 15-16 inches, we need to supplement that with some heavy irrigation. So one great way to reduce outdoor watering is to remove some of your grass. So these classes will inform our customers how to go about that process and learn about some California native friendly vegetation that can replace grass. And also we have to celebrate, although our birthday was technically last month in January, we're going to celebrate our 100th anniversary in May 16th. So we'll be sending out official flyers to the community, invitations to this council, and we really would like to celebrate this occasion with the community as we celebrate the 100 years of service and look forward for the next 100 years of service of providing safe, reliable service to the city of Baldwin Park. And I believe that's all I have for presentations. We'll start distributing the quizzes out to the ladies in the audience, but if there's any questions from the council, I'd be more than happy to answer them at this time.
Thank you for that, Jose. We really appreciate you coming out and give us some informative water talk. Do anyone up here have any questions or comments for?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I don't have any questions, Jose. I just want to thank you for coming and speaking and presenting to us, as Mayor said, and always being open-minded and a collaborative partner with us. I really appreciate working with your agency and all of your directors and your staff. So, and thank you, directors and President Muse for coming and joining. So thank you so much, Jose. Thank you.
You're
There-
welcome. I try to
Jose-
keep it short, so
Well,
but
there
I
we go.
apologize. Once I start talking about water, I can't stop.
Real quick, I was out running along the mining area that you just mentioned. So that's the water table. It's reached the water table, right? And I did notice that increase. That's amazing. Wow. Incredible.
And a lot of people think it's just a man-made lake, but that's
Right.
the actual water table.
And so is the one across from there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which creates some issues with their mining. So they're not necessarily too happy when it gets to that level.
Oh,
but-
really? I thought.
Well, I don't want to, I'm not on record.
All right.
I retract that statement.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Does anyone else have any
Thank you, Mayor.
comments or questions?
Mayor.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Thanks, Jose, for that presentation. I know, interestingly enough, we've been talking about the muscle issue and vector control and actually at the regional level with the COG. But just kind of, you can, what are how does that affect us? I know we have our own water supply, but some of the things that have been coming up is that, with the high cost, I think they've estimated like potential like $1 billion, mitigation statewide. How can we, what should we be doing with our water? Should we be preserving more? What do you think?
So, yeah, I've heard I've heard some wild claims as far as what the mitigation costs will be. I've also heard some realistic costs that Metropolitan, unfortunately, this is not the only mussel that has been an issue in the state of California. The Coaga mussel is something that the Metropolitan Water District has been dealing with for decades now. So they have some costs associated with their mitigation and their cleanup efforts that we feel are a little bit more realistic for some of the costs associated with that. But that is certainly something that we as a region, especially all the parties of the main San Gabriel Basin, we collectively share with 2 million people that water resource in this groundwater basin. So with that, the good thing about that is that we also share the cost with 2 million people. So we are collectively working together and work with the county, work with the state, work with Metropolitan, and also look at federal funding to see what is the best way to address this issue and mitigate it and reduce local impacts. Because we did not cause this problem. So who exactly do we necessarily go after? And that's the issue with the county as well. They don't want to be responsible when it's them, that they may pass it on to somebody. So unfortunately, we all have lawyers, they serve a purpose, and they try to protect us from each other sometimes. And there's a lot of lawyers and they're talking about what is the best mean. We all want the same thing, to provide safe, reliable water, but all the lawyers have to get together, and then we have to get the engineers and the scientists. So we're still in that process. So we're all on the same page, and we can proceed to address this issue with the least amount of impact to our ratepayers.
Mayor, one last, how clean for the audience is the water coming out of the faucet versus one, obviously some of us pay $1, $2, $3, $5 for.
Well, a gallon of our water costs 0.0001 cents per gallon delivered from the tap. The tap is more regulated federally and state regulated than that tap water. One thing I can say, I don't know how much microplastic is in that bottled water up there. So I wish we would have brought our own source, but microplastics and other contaminants is going to be on the next horizon. And talk about cost, the cost to run some of these samples for things that weren't in the water 5, 10, 3 years ago. The cost to analyze and run these is it's really expensive. So we're seeing our budget skyrocket just to run them through these state and federal testing procedures.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Jose. We really appreciate you. And also thank you to President David Muse and members Javier Vargas and Lynette Pacheco for being here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, moving on, we're going to move on to proclamation, National Black History Month proclamation presented to David Muse, President of the Board of Directors for the Valley County Water District. Councilmember Estrada?
All right. Thank you, Mayor. So we'll wait for David to make his way up. To the dais. All right. Right. So we have a Baldwin Park City Council proclamation for National Black History Month, February 2026. Whereas each February, National Black History Month serves as both a celebration and a powerful reminder that Black history is American history, Black culture is American culture, and Black stories are essential to the ongoing story of America. And whereas shining a light on Black history today is as important to understanding ourselves and growing stronger as a nation as it has ever been, that's why it's essential that we honor the legacies and achievements of all generations. And whereas today Black Americans serve our communities and our nation at every level, build across the board, business and law, health and education, arts and science, and many more. And whereas our nation was founded on the idea that all of us are created equal and deserve to be treated with equal dignity throughout our lives, therefore we are encouraged to openly and honestly work together as one to deliver fairness and respectfulness for all. And whereas the city of Baldwin Park presents this proclamation to David L. Muse, Baldwin Park resident for 35 years, president of the Valley County Water District Board of Directors, and former planning commissioner from 2010 through 2016. David is a valued member of the Baldwin Park community and has been actively involved in various city events throughout many years. Now, therefore, Daniel Damian, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Jean M. Ayala, Council members Alejandra Avila, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Daniel Lozano, City Clerk Christopher Sines, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, who hereby proclaim February 2026 as National Black History Month in the City of Baldwin Park and encourage all residents, community members, public officials, and educators to observe this month with appropriate programs and activities. For you. Take a.
David, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah.
Grab the microphone there.
Thank you, Dave.
Is that on?
Not plugged in.
It's not.
That one right over there. particularly in the athletic field. Ron Brown was an Olympic sprinter and an NFL wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders. So I am proud to receive this, but I am also proud to be standing on the shoulders of those who came before me and did what they needed to do to make this happen. Thank you very much.
Right, David. Did well, Dave. Oh, I see.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you. And then also on that note, don't forget, we do have our Black History Cultural Celebration on February 28th, 11 a.m. Here at the Arts and Recreation Center. So it'd be really great. This is our 4th year having it. So it'd be great to see more of our community come out and support. Thank you very much. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
All right, now we're gonna be moving on to what I think everyone is here for, which is the presentation recognition to the Sierra Vista High School cheer for being the HSSCC D1 National Champions. Congratulations. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and read one of the certificates. I'm gonna call up the coaches and the names. And as you hear your names, if you guys just come up here, and then your coaches will give your certificates afterwards, okay? So this is for the Sierra Vista High School cheer team. Again, NHSCC D1 National Champions, large varsity intermediate non-tumbling. So I believe this was in Florida, right? That you guys won first place. So the city of Baldwin Park, yeah, let's give them a round of applause. The city of Baldwin Park is proud to recognize you for your hard work and dedication. We congratulate you for being part of the traditional competitive cheer program and winning nationals in Florida. We appreciate your sportsmanship, outstanding athletic performance, and we thank you for the favorable recognition you bring to your school and the entire Baldwin Park community. Presented this 18th day of February 2026 by myself, Daniel Damian, Mayor Pro Tem Jean M. Ayala, Councilmember Alejandra Avila, Councilmember Emmanuel J. Estrada, Councilmember Manuel Lozano, our City Clerk Christopher Saenz, and our City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela. So one more round of applause for our champions. And then if we can get the coaches up here, we have Gabriela Mendoza and Rosana Soria. And then we have and then I'm gonna call the the team's name. We have Ari Santiago. Yeah, whatever you want to know. Brianna Rosas. Camila Hernandez. Kayla Salazar. Celia Revuelta. Fernanda Garcia. I hope I don't butcher this one. Itahini Santiago. Janelle Regosa. Julieta Padilla. Leilani Taborda. Marilyn Carrillo. Miley Hernandez. Raylia Bustamante. Scarlett Palomera. And Sofia Lopez. I'm sorry, I think we left one out. We have Brooklyn Valdez. Sorry about that, Brooklyn.
Yeah, cover the microphones with it. Cover the microphones. That's what's killing me. I'm trying to take it off, I can unplug it. National.
Thank you, Service Star.
Thank you all. Now have a good night. Have your parents take you guys for dinner real quick. Shop local, right? All right, so now we're gonna be moving on to our public communication. City Clerk, do we have any speakers tonight?
Yes, Mayor. At this time, we've only received one speaker card, and that's from Irma Morales with the Bolton Park Library.
Perfect, thank you for that.
Good evening, Mayor Damian, City Council members, community members, and the city team. I wanted to talk about some upcoming programs at Baldwin Park Library. So this Saturday, February 21st, from 11 to noon, we're having a Play and Explore program for ages 2 to 5 with their parent and caregiver. Part of the program is a family community specialist from the Department of Public Health is going to be there to talk about lead poisoning prevention for children. Also, right after that program, we are having a new parent engagement from 1 to 2, and it's new parents join us at a special program designed for you. Bring your new baby and learn about all the great programs and services we have for parents at the library. Also, on Saturday, February the 28th, from 3 to 4, we're having a program for school-age children, and it's DIY science. And you can find out more information and parents can register their children on the library's website. As always, the library's website is lalibrary.org, lacountylibrary.org. Our next program is for teens. We have a set of teen programs coming up, and if I can get the page. This Friday, we're having a Teen Friday program, and it's this Friday the 20th from 4:30 to 5:30. It's for teens. They can come and be creative, play games, different things, and learn, meet other teens. We're also having a Paint and More program for teens on Friday, February 27th from 4:30 to 5:30. All those programs are signing up. You can find out more information on our library's website. We are also having an African American and Black History Month craft for adults. Join us. This is Tuesday, February 24th from 6 to 7. Join us in celebrating African American and Black History Month by learning the places and spaces that existed for African American families to rest, relax, and be their full human selves. Afterwards, honor these spaces by creating your own Black Beaches bag. Also coming up, we're going to be having a senior cafe on Friday, February 27th from 2 to 3. And it's our first senior cafe. And what we're doing is we're having games, puzzles, and conversations. And we want our seniors to tell us what other programs they'd like to see at the library. Thank you for your time.
City Clerk, that was the only speaker we had?
Yes, yes, Mayor, that was, 1 second.
So if,
Mayor, we have two more. One, next we call Cindy Rubio.
Hello, good evening. I'm sure you remember me because I'm always the one that's here with the problem. I'd just like to know how to get on the agenda for city council to talk about the problem. 3 minutes is not enough time to discuss all the issues that we're having with the new dial ride. There's several seniors that want to attend, and it's difficult for them to make the time at this time of night because they don't have transportation. I'd like to be able to meet with someone and find out what's the best way we can do this so that you can realize what the input is happening here. I've left messages for several people. I've never received a call back. Every time I come to a meeting, I leave my phone number for a call back, and I've not received any information other than negative. I've spoken to several people. They're sitting up here right now. I've been told I don't have time for this. If this goes on, we're going to stop dial-a-ride. We don't have time to discuss this. This has nothing to do with us. When you call dial-a-ride, it says it's on the city. So we're pretty confused and we could use some help. So maybe by putting that on the agenda and having enough time to speak about it and have other people here, it would help.
Ms. Rubio, unfortunately, we can't have a dialogue here. But what we will do is we'll have one of our city staff, Daniel, our Director of Public Works, reach out to you. We can get your phone number if he doesn't have it yet. And then I know we had two community meetings at the senior center a couple of weeks ago. So what we'll probably try to do is have another one and see if you can have the people that you're saying that are having issues with that attend the meeting, okay? Do we have her phone number? Chris?
Mayor?
Yes, Mayor, we have a phone number here, but I'll confirm it.
Okay, perfect. So he's gonna confirm your phone number and then he's gonna hand it over to our Director of Public Works.
Okay.
And then he's gonna contact you, okay?
Now,
Councilman Bristol.
Sorry, just wanted to add, maybe a good idea to host one of those meetings at a different park location just for the whole access. I mean, we're talking about transportation access and barriers, so.
Yeah, and I think at that time we did it for at the senior center because the majority of the seniors congregate there. And what we want to do is we want to try to have people there. So we'll discuss internally about community meetings
okay,
and see if maybe we can host one down at the Walnut Creek area because I know that that's where you're from.
yes.
If we can get some people out there, then maybe we can host something there. But we'll be in communication with you, and I guarantee that we'll make sure that we make it happen. Okay.
And communication is very important because the two meetings that they had at the senior center, I don't, for one, do not go to the senior center. I was made aware of it the day before for the first meeting and never made aware of the second meeting, which I was told someone would notify me.
Okay.
So we have very poor communication as far as who can say what. And I've been on the bus with several people that have actually called some of the members on the council direct to complain. I've heard them on the phone. They have direct numbers to a lot of people that are sitting up here and to call and complain. And it makes me laugh because it's like, well, I know it's not only me, but nobody wants to come up here and say anything,
Okay.
just so that you're aware of that.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. And definitely we'll make sure that we host one of these community meetings out in the Walnut Creek area for your neighborhood out there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Next speaker, City Clerk.
Next we call Balbino Rodriguez.
Buenas noches. Mire, yo estoy hablando aquí porque la calle está tan fea allí. Yo como siempre ando caminando y un día me iba a caer. Como siempre hay muchos hoyos, no los arreglan y no sé si van a arreglar la calle. Ya tenemos muchos años hablando sobre eso y no hacen nada. I don't know. Y luego también los apartamentos que están allá, llegando a Baldwin Park. La otra vez que vinimos les hicimos de eso. Y ya ve que se arreglaron todo, se ve bonito, pero todo ese cochinero ahí no se ve bien, no sé. ¿Qué, qué piensan?
¿De qué calle habla, señora, por favor?
¿Mande?
La calle de la que se está expresando, ¿qué calle es? La
No,
calle.
La calle es la Baldwin Park, pero las casas que vienen de allá de Baldwin Park, los apartamentos esos grandes que hay allí, esos son los que están bien, todas las personas que viven ahí echan toda la basura ahí, en el cerco, pues, y se ve muy feo. Y ahora que ya arreglaron todo el pavimento allá afuera, pues se ve feo esa cochinada ahí, no sé.
Mayor, real quick. ¿Qué es la calle cruzante? La Bond Parking.
La calle cruzando es la Baldwin Park,
Pero,
o la Acto, la que llega al,
Eito.
oh,
ya
Eito,
hecho,
Bonner Park and Eito, okay.
los apartamentos que están allá al
Yes,
fondo, hasta donde
gracias.
acaba la calle, allá es donde está todo ese cochinero. Se ve feo allí.
Okay.
Ahora tomé fotos y todo, y,
¿Tomó usted las fotos?
¿eh?
¿Usted tomó las fotos?
Sí, ajá, las
Ok.
tomé.
Vamos, termine. ¿Es lo único que quería decir o tiene más que
No,
decir?
pues nomás eso y de la
Ok.
calle, pues está.
Ok.
Y luego las luces que pusieron allá atrás, pues pusieron unas luces de las solares muy pegaditas a las eléctricas y me hubieran puesto una derecho de mi casa para que se mira más.
Ok. Ok.
Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias. Vamos a mirar la calle de Eito y la Bonner Park Boulevard, ¿ok?
Hello. It's regarding the streets that they're looking very ugly out there, and there's a lot of potholes. I almost fell the other day, and we've been saying this for many years now. There's these apartments, these big apartments. They look pretty nice, but also on Baldwin Park, the street, and we've been telling them there's a lot of trash, and they leave a lot of trash around there. And these apartments are nice, but then there's this trash that's being dumped there by the fence over there, and they repaved this. It looks really nice, except for the trash that's being dumped there. You also installed some solar lights, but they're very close to the electrical lights right there where I live. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Is there anyone else wishing to speak who did not fill out a speaker card? Now is your time. All right, we're closed for public speaking now, Mr. Rios.
5 minutes?
We're shrinking yours to 2 minutes.
It's not eight though, the street she's talking about. It's A-Mart.
Amar. Okay.
Remember, Eighth and A-Mart goes all the way to the apartments at the college sec all the way down. Those are the apartments she's talking about at the end of A-Mart. Okay? So don't take, don't take, I'm explaining. You know, you guys, you could.
Okay,
David,
let's, okay, hold on, let's start.
David,
Yeah,
thank you.
let's go ahead. We got his time back up. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Rios.
Híjola. I was at Walnut Creek on Saturday, you know, everything fine and dandy and everything. The only problem is that the sign, and I talked to Daniel this tonight before we came in. I showed him the way the sign was on Saturday. They didn't fix it up. They didn't clean it up and everything. I got a couple of phone calls from the neighborhood. You don't know what sign I'm talking about, Manny?
No, sir.
The cul-de-sac.
Okay.
I cleaned it up before I came today. I showed it to Daniel. Okay, but you know, everything was fine and dandy, but I got a couple of phone calls from the neighborhood to let me know, you know, everything was fine and dandy, but you know, what happened to the sign? How come they didn't clean it up? So going around the city, we're just trying to get some more trash all over the place again. You know, and I usually call Public Works, or I'll call Carlos. Saturdays and Sundays, we're getting a lot of vendors again. Especially this past weekend, we had a bunch of vendors on Saturday and on Sunday. Sunday was the worst one. We had vendors all over the place on Bass and Merced and Big Dalton. But it's getting out of control. We need to get some on Sundays too. We need to get. I talked to Carlos. I told him, you guys have to talk to your bosses and let's get some done on Sundays too. We don't want to be looking like El Monte or Puente, where you have vendors all over the place. I go around the cities visiting people in Puente, West Covina, El Monte, and everything. Monte is getting worse and worse every day. But we don't want that in Baldwin Park. We take pride on our city. It's like I've been mentioning, we need to fix City Hall. We're not fixing City Hall. It's starting to look like trash again. We need to straighten up a sidewalk right here in front of the fountain. And then I was up on the second floor. We need to fix up second floor too. It's something that you guys have to look at. I come from an environment that is I was very strict on cleanness. That's why I see everything. Okay.
Time is up, Mr. Rios.
Okay.
But thank you very much. We appreciate you bringing these matters to our attention.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Ok, necesitamos remover dos casitas que tienen ahí los homeless en el Motel Six que están arreglando. Ya tienen ahí como 2 meses las casitas junto al freeway. La gente que pasa las ve. Y pues si llegan más y más vamos a estar peor que el monte, peor que Los Ángeles. También hay una casa en la 3344, la Fraser, que hablé con Carlos y hace tiempo que hablé con Carlos, como 2 meses. Dijo que el caso estaba en proceso y no veo que haga nada. Ahí el señor del taller está haciendo mucho complaint porque dice que le entran los animales, ratas, todo, y Carlos no hace nada. Nomás dicen que está en proceso. Yo tengo las fotos para mandárselas luego. Demasiados carros, yonque, todo tiene ahí, ya todo muy feo. Y yo veo que pues hacen cosas que nos damos cuenta, que compran cosas muy caras para la ciudad, carros de policía, creo que muy caros para la yarda y no arreglan las calles, las banquetas. Yo todavía todos los reportes que digan sé que igual no se han hecho nada. Y necesitamos hacer algo porque si no vamos a dejar la ciudad que se caiga muy rápido y hay que continuar adelante. Gracias.
There are these little homes for the houses of the homeless right there by Motel 6. It's been 6 months now, and we got to get rid of them. Otherwise, other people are going to keep coming. The homeless are going to keep coming. We don't want it to look like El Monte or Los Angeles, right there at 3344 Fraser. I've told Carlos, and he's been telling me that for some time now that this case is in process. The man there at the shop, he also complains regarding vermin or rats. Carlos doesn't seem to be doing anything about it. It looks rather ugly there. There's a lot of cars, a lot of junk cars, just everything. I have a picture or pictures I can get them to you. It seems like the city is buying a lot of expensive things or spending a lot of money on stuff for the city, the police, the yard, but nothing is being done regarding streets, the sidewalks. Nothing is being done. Let's not let the city go down. Let's keep going forward, moving forward.
Thank you for that. Anyone else? Oh, public communications definitely closed now. Just kidding. Oh, good evening, Mr. Tuttle. Long time we haven't seen you.
You pay off for that one.
Oh,
Must have been Manny, right?
Okay, I'm here tonight on the BP measure charade of this city stealing the money from supposed to be for the citizens. Now, so far, you've taken $9.6 million out for the general fund. 6 million, I know you guys got to pay this lawsuit out. The other 3.6 million was for the general fund for 25-26. This isn't what this is meant for. Also, the 6 million, you're paying it no interest. You're costing the BP Measure Fund $456,000 in interest for the year by taking this money out. I see no plans of how the city's going to pay it back because the city's not making more money. They keep going in deficit every year. Now then, the thing with the 2022 resolution, the list of what you were supposed to do when you told all the people that to pass this was to do public parks, facilities, safe and clean, street maintenance, traffic management, police response for schools, gang and prevention. You did all that, but you didn't tell them all this whole list of stuff that you guys have been stealing the money for, which is close to $3 million for the police department. And you know what the citizens got out of this? $71,000 for the 3 years. But the police got $3 million out of the thing. This committee is put up with, they're just puppets of the council. The council says, we need to vote on this, you need to do this. Why do we have the committee? We shouldn't even have this committee. You guys should just vote on this stuff because you're just taking all this money out. You're not doing it for the citizens to where you should be improving for the citizens. I don't see anything of any business loans that you've helped the businesses out, create jobs, business retention, business development, business loans, neighborhood cleanups, housing support, senior housing, sidewalks. Well, we know all about sidewalks. City's getting sued for sidewalk problems. That money there, setting in there, the millions of dollars should be used for that. But no, we're paying a lawsuit with no interest. And then we're taking 3.6 to make the budget good for 25-26. You guys need to understand this is not a honeypot. And since this committee does nothing but do whatever the council wants, why don't we just wipe it out? You're wasting staff time to come in there maybe once or twice a month to have a meeting? Let's save some money. Let's see a budget. Let's get a budget that's balanced and let's get it cleaned up. And let's cut the budget. Let's cut the added cost that this city's doing. Okay, got my time up. Thanks.
Thank you. Good seeing you as well, Mr. Tuttle. Anyone else wishing to speak before we close public communications? You see, Mr. Tuttle, no one wants to follow you. Right, see no interest, I'll now close public communications. All right, so I will just address a couple of things. So I know that there's a lot of sidewalks that need repairs. Just so that the community is aware, we are currently working on potentially 400 sidewalk repairs. And if you drive around the city, you'll see some of those sidewalk repairs. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be able to get to every single sidewalk at the same time, but that is our goal. And, our public works director has been really busy trying to focus on making sure we get to as many sidewalks as possible. In reference to the Amar and Baldwin Park Boulevard, vamos a revisar esa situación. And then Ms. Rubio, I've already addressed you. We're going to go ahead and make sure we hold a community meeting out in the Walnut Creek area. That is, and then Mr. Abel, obviously, whatever code enforcement cases are there, there's a process for that, but we'll make sure that we look into that as well. Anyone else have any questions or comments in regards to public speaking? No? You want to address something, Councilwoman?
No, you already did. Thank
Perfect.
you.
All right, so now we're moving on to our consent calendar. City Council, anyone wishing to pull items from the consent calendar? No one?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can I pull item number 5?
Item 5, okay. Anyone else wishing to speak at, pull any items?
Also, sorry, also number 8.
Okay, so 5 and 8.
Mayor, as a friendly reminder, everything is under consent calendar today, so you can
Oh.
adopt items 1 through 15, excluding 5 and 8.
Yes, so that's right. We changed this. So, okay, so we're gonna, so does anyone want to make a motion to approve items 1 through 15, excluding item 5 and 8?
I'll make a motion.
Do I hear a second? And I am going to abstain for the record on item, is there a housing authority here? Trying to look. Yes, so item 11, I'm going to abstain from item 11, and that's because my commercial landlord is on the warrants.
So it should be item
To
13.
13?
Oh, the
Oh,
one-
yes, the warrants and demands. I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna abstain from item 13, housing authority warrants and demands.
So
Right,
just
so we have a,
point of clarification, are we pulling item 13?
no, I could just abstain for the record, right? Or,
Correct. Yeah, like you're saying your vote's going to be yes, but then abstain on item 13.
correct, yes.
Because it's on consent that you don't need to. Yeah.
So we had a motion by who?
Councilmember Estrada, second by Councilmember Avila.
Perfect. Can we get
So-
city, roll call?
Yeah, to adopt items 1 through 4, 6, 7, 9 through 15. Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Estrada.
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes, and abstaining from item 13.
Noted.
Thank you.
Motion carries 5-0 with the exception of item 13, passes with 4-0-1.
Perfect. Thank you for that, City Clerk. Councilmember Estrada, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. So very excited to see item number 5 finally hit the agenda. I know I kind of got ahead of it and submitted it right away, but I just it's really to me it's really important to make sure that we are highlighting people that have come before us. People have kind of set the path for all of us to be up here, regardless of whether we know them or not. And I know that we've talked about this, and it's one of the reasons that we worked on Ana Montenegro Park to make sure that parks are not just providing us what we need, which is green space, but also they could be a way to teach people and create civic pride in our community. And as as Women's History Month comes close, I think it's important to acknowledge women leaders that have set the path for the rest of us. And one of those women is Adelina Gregory, and she was Baldwin Park's first appointed mayor in the city of Baldwin Park. First one mayor, served over close to 12 years here on the council. But beyond that, she was really a trailblazer. She was a part of the public transit efforts here in Baldwin Park and also regionally. She is one of the main reasons and spearheaded a lot of the efforts to get away from county park services and have Baldwin Park have their own park service, which is our Recreation and Community Services Department. And so I think it's just fitting to have a park named after her, but also to acknowledge all the great things she's done. Not just the first woman mayor of the city of Baldwin Park, but also the first woman chair of the ICA, Independent Cities Association, and also first woman chair of the Rapid Transit Authority on public transit, along with many other accomplishments, which I've listed through some heavy research I did, but I don't want to hold it on further. I just wanted to make sure highlight that item and the importance it is beyond it. I know that Roadside Park is far from completion, but I just think that the idea that we've kind of set with Ana Montenegro Park, where we name something and we actually incorporate that person's legacy into those projects, is really an important one. Oftentimes we walk into a building with a name on it and we have no idea who that person is or why that building was named after them. And, just wanting to change that and really creating that civic pride and keeping Baldwin Park history alive here in our city.
Thank you for that information, Councilmember Estrada. Does anyone have any questions or comments regarding item number 5? No? Do you want to make a motion, Councilmember
Sure,
Estrada?
I'll make a motion to approve item number 5.
There's a motion by Councilmember Estrada and a second by Councilmember Avila.
Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Estrada.
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. And Councilmember Estrada, I just want to say thank you for the detailed information and the history on Mrs. Gregory. So thank you for that. All right, moving on to item number 8. Councilmember Estrada, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Another, speaking of parks, so I know that this is a pretty urgent item. We've heard from Daniel and city staff, and so I just wanted to reiterate that we really make sure that we take advantage of these funds to make sure that we don't lose them, that we create efficiency. I know that we have lots of needs for the residents of the community, but I also am aware that staff has a lot of needs, and I want to make sure that we really encourage you to take advantage of the funds. If you find ways to augment and find ways to get these delegated to make sure that we are keeping on track with everything that we need to, right? Especially because these are grant funding and we don't want to lose these dollars, nor kind of have a when we apply for further funds from those agencies, we want to make sure that we're in good standing.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Estrada. Does anyone have any questions or comments on item number 8? No, Councilmember Estrada, you want to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve item number 8.
I second.
We have a first and a second.
We have a motion to adopt item number 8, motion made by Councilmember Estrada, second by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Estrada.
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Item 8 passes 5-0.
Perfect. Thank you for that, City Clerk. We are now down to, we're done. Right, we're down to City Clerk, City Council, City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff requests and communications. Before I adjourn, does any city council members have any comments or direction?
I just, Mayor, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
I want to request for hopefully the first meeting in March, I'll verify with the team for the Sierra Vista High School wrestling team winning their 9th consecutive year as league champs. So I would like to invite the team over. I know they have one of the wrestlers that placed 4th in CIF. He's going to Masters this weekend. So that's why we have to wait until then to see if how he does in Masters, and hopefully he'll go to state. But yes, I would like to put him on the agenda for the first meeting. It's a big group, so we could not have a lot of presentations that day. And from here, please.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I think
Another big group, just one big group, please.
And I think, as a matter of fact, I think I told Manny, our city manager, to there was a few teams from both Baldwin Park High School and Sierra Vista who made CIF. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to kind of get them scheduled into different council meetings, bring them in. So we'll add the wrestling team to that list of CIFs, and then we'll just bring them in a staggering meeting so that we don't have them at the same time.
That way they don't lose the spotlight, right?
Yeah, we want to make sure we recognize all of our youth. They do work hard enough to to place in these CIF championships. And Councilman Estrada?
Thank you, Mayor. So American Legion is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. We've been recently we've gotten pretty involved with them and helping them overcome the pandemic. I know that right now we are in a tough situation and we aren't able to fully help them have their independent events, but I was hoping that it'd be a reasonable idea to see if there's a way to incorporate them to one of our relevant events so that we can join in the celebration for the American Legion, which is the only standing veteran org, brick and mortar here in the city of Baldwin Park, since we no longer have the BFW. That was one. And then second, Assemblymember Salachi has a bill that he is proposing called the AHAP Pathway for Cities Act, which pretty much facilitates for smaller cities and medium-sized cities to access or apply for homeless funds rather than going through the county or through the regional agencies, which it really slows us down, and it just creates a lot of creates a strain on our ability to provide services. So I'd like to be able to write a letter of support for that bill as a city.
What was your first request, Councilmember Estrada?
To see if there's a way to incorporate the celebration of American Legion's 100th anniversary into one of our events, if there's a relevant one.
Perfect.
I'd have to double check, but before I reach out, I just want to make sure, before I connect everybody, I want to make sure that was something that was.
We have a few opportunities, 4th of July and/or one of the concerts I think are well attended, so we can honor them up on stage at any of those events.
So yeah, I support both of those requests, Councilmember Estrada. Councilmember Lozano, do you have any?
Yeah, just want to address the issue with Metro Village. Obviously, the project's been there 15 years. So I'll ask the council approves over to Ms. Tam to find out the financial aspect of it. What have they paid? What was agreed upon back then, and where are we at this point with them? We could do that. I'd appreciate that. Got that? Okay, all righty. Thank you, Ms. Tam. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And I think, Rose, I think that's the same request, or, update to the request that has been made to where we want to know what the finances looks like. So either, I think at that time we requested you can send it to us individually by email. And if we have further questions, then maybe we can agendize it for a closed session meeting. And if not, then we can just bring it to a closed session meeting, just so that we're all aware and updated as to where we're at financially with that project.
Yes, Mayor and City Council members. I and my staff have been working with Rome staff very closely. We are almost there. We have been pressing them. Finally, we got the audited financial statement. We are working to us. We are waiting for their confirmation to put the outcome together, and we'll email to all of you. Then we can decide it from there. If you have any question or decided to go to discuss further in the closed session.
Yes, please.
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank
We
you.
are almost there.
Good, because it's been a long time, but
Yes.
yeah. So thank you for that, Rose. Thank you, Councilmember Lozano. Mayor Pro Tem Ayala, do you have any? All right, so I do have just, so one, I want to say to staff, thank you very much and a great job for the Greenway ribbon cutting event that you guys had. You guys did an amazing job out there. It was good to see so many people out there and the excitement from the community, that are now wanting to enjoy that new pathway. So I want to thank you guys for the great job that you guys do, all of you guys. And then we do have a Know Your Rights workshop. The City of Baldwin Park is hosting an informational community workshop led by the Immigration Resource Center of San Gabriel Valley. This session is designed to provide general information about individual rights and available resources for community members impacted by immigration enforcement actions, including ICE activity. This is going to be on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the Julia McNeil Senior Center. So, come out and take advantage of these resources if you are in need of this. I am going to read this in Spanish just for any of our Spanish listeners, if anyone's listening. Va a haber un taller de Conozca sus Derechos a la ciudad de Baldwin Park. Organiza un taller comunitario informativo dirigido por el Centro de Recursos de Migración del Valle de San Gabriel. Esta sesión está diseñada para brindar información general sobre los derechos individuales y recursos disponibles para los miembros de la comunidad afectadas por las medidas de control migratorio, incluyendo la actividad de ICE. Esto se va a llevar a cabo el martes 24 de febrero del 2026 a las 6:30 p.m. La ubicación va a ser en el Julia McNeil Senior Center, localizado en el 4100 Baldwin Park Boulevard en Baldwin Park, California. Por favor, aprovechen de estos recursos si es que los ocupan. Por favor, atiendan esta junta. That's all I have for
Excuse me,
tonight.
Mayor,
Yes.
sorry.
Who's
I
that?
just would like to add to your announcement
Oh,
that,
sorry.
sorry. May
I'm
I-
so sorry. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, I would like to add that they could join virtually if they're not able to attend or feel comfortable to attend in person.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for, oh, yes, I missed that QR code. Thank you for that, María. En español también, si no puede atender en persona, puede atender virtualmente. So thank you for that. I didn't even see that. Thank you, Maria. All right, and oh, go ahead.
Mary,
Go ahead.
thank you very much. I just want to quickly just say thank you to Public Works for these last couple of days when it's been raining and it's been storming, especially last night. It was crazy with all the wind. I just want to say thank you to Public Works for being out there in odd hours of the night, cleaning up the washes and doing their cleanup and as best as they could with the weather that we had. So I just want to say a quick thank you to them for being out there and being proactive with that. And also thank you to PD for being out and doing the rounds. I have been seeing an increase of patrolling in the area up and down, especially of Merced, because it does get pretty dark during the nights. I have a tendency of going out at wee hours of the night to walk my dog because she needs to use the restroom. So, I'm glad that I'm seeing our patrol units going out there and doing what they need to be doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that, City Treasurer. City Clerk, do you have any comments?
Yes, Mayor. I just wanted to add some. So I know that one of our residents came to speak about like getting better communication, and I do have to admit that I'm fortunate and my family is fortunate that we've never had to use dial-a-ride. So I'm not familiar with how the process of calling, but I'm curious that if I don't even know if there's a wait when you call, but if on the wait line, there can be an announcement that references the community meeting when that community meeting is scheduled to ensure that people who are calling to get dial-a-ride services are aware at the point of calling that there's a community meeting scheduled. Also, hopefully put some flyers within the vehicles that people who are calling dial-a-ride know that there's a meeting going to happen, and then probably on the buses as well. But again, I'm not familiar with dial-a-ride if it's the same vehicles that are used all the time. But I would just be a suggestion after speaking with our resident who really believes that there's a lack of communication. Lastly, just because it's in my wheelhouse and it's things that I deal with every single day, I know that the last time that Romani came, well, before he left, and presented the chamber remodel, and he gave the price point. We were actually just a point of knowledge so that you guys can keep in mind is it was in May of 2025. So it was 2 months into the volatility of the supply chain with tariffs on China, the tariffs on China were 179%, which meant the furniture that we would buy for chambers was taxed an additional 179%. So now that the tariff rate has dropped to effectively like 130% to about 45% in, we should be able to negotiate better rates on furniture from our contractors because we don't have that volatility in tariffs. Just something to keep in mind when negotiating our future contract. And it's just things that I deal with every single day. So just wanted to share that. That's it.
Thank you for that.
If you need help
Thank you.
negotiating, I'm happy to do it.
Thank you for that input, that information. So we'll have it if we're able to get dial-a-ride to maybe make that announcement once we have the meeting scheduled. Have dial-a-ride make the announcement on their recorded line when they call. That is a good idea. And then Daniel, again, once we start, when you bring back the chambers project to us, the fact that a city clerk just brought that up makes a lot of sense to, put that in there when we're looking at our cost analysis to bring the cost down of that. So thank you. Thank you, city clerk. Always appreciate your input and your informative information. All right, seeing that there's no other comments, I will now make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Meeting is adjourned. Good night, everyone.